time! It's time for the class trial! I didn't get to set up everything before I left. I should have set up my stuff. Anyway, how y'all doing? How y'all doing there, y'all? Welcome back. Hope everyone had an excellent day so far. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes people can be very disgusting. Okay, so we have to figure out who killed Shiro. There are preparations. Let's get into it. Not wasting no more time.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Yeah, we already know.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Yeah, wow, graduation. Speaking of graduation, college graduation just happened. So, I'm going to give a shout out to the people that did graduate. Shout out to everyone Nick. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
There's a reason why he's bringing that up first. Well, that's easy. That's easy. I went back and I watched my video just to make sure, I was caught up and stuff. So obviously, the weapon of choice was the dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the moniker...
Wait a minute.
Kuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument, but...
Yo, how do I switch... Hold on, how do I switch to... Oh, it's L1.
What kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
I missed both times. Why do you even say it like that? Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yes, we know that.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
There's a dumbbell. What do you mean? How is that wrong?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
No.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Bro, let me hit.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
Nope, shut up.
No, that's wrong.
Get out of here. You guys working way too much, man.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned,
Thank you,
there's
Kyoko.
no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
See, Kyoko, that's why I said, bro. Kyoko's gonna be like the voice of reason.
You
Thank you, Kyoko.
looked at her head wound?
Yeah.
Yes! That's so creepy!
You feel me? Yo, it's too early for you to be yelling in my ear like that, bro.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Here we go with this, bro. Suspect number one. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to learn more? Oh, y'all added something else, bro? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press X to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim. Okay. No. Okay. Now everything. So we got white noise. So what does white noise look like then?
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Oh,
Hey,
wait,
so,
there is.
Speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is.
Oh, there is. Okay, so I see what it is. I see what it is. There's proof because we read the Genocide
culprit
Jack.
is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well,
Look,
I
it's
mean,
as cool as face.
come on. There's just no proof for it.
There it is. There we go. See what I said? I told you. I knew it. Detective Macho is on the scene,
Might
bro.
know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. Boob lust.
If only inches off.
No.
Horny, bro.
It's actually bloodlust.
Thank you.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
See how they can't fix where the murder took place, the bloody message, or how the victim was positioned. Was it?
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Oh, that's right. They suspend him like they're Jesus.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
This is disgusting, bro. Like, oh
There's
my
only
God.
one logical answer I can think of.
Who could have done something like this to Shiro, man?
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
Yes,
You're
Mono.
saying
Yes.
Genocide Jack
Bro.
is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Huh?
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What?
Whoa, whoa, this is getting spicy, bro.
Okay, wait, hold on a sec.
Getting spicy, bro.
Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
That is true, so how could it be
Is
Toko?
Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Yes and no.
Another riddle. Man,
Why is this gotta be so complicated?
It does seem like a riddle in a way, but I feel like I can just about see it. This hijack is Toko, but isn't Toko. What does it mean? So there's already two words. H and I. S. Is it schizophrenia? Is it schizophrenia? She's schizophrenic? Oh, it makes sense.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
It makes sense now. Okay. It makes sense.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too.
So basically, like, so this makes sense because in the case, hold on,
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Yep.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Was it because her behavior changed?
I got it!
Because I remember,
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
And she was acting all stupid. That's right. Yeah, we already know about this, bro.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm.
That is true. So that can put evidence into her having like a different personality.
In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Yeah. And she knows it.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I'm guessing so.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
See, Byakuya, I feel like Kui's just trying to... I feel like he's just trying to shift all of the blame to Chihiro. Not Chihiro, excuse me. Toko. Because he knows he's the killer. He's the only person that knew about all that kind of stuff.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
So you're just outing her secrets? Oh, you can't trust Kuya.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
Oh, you can't trust her.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't trust Kuya. Now, rule number 1, we don't trust Kuya. I never trust him in the first place.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Wow, so that's where this TikTok sound comes from. Okay.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Jesus. Jesus. I feel bad for Toko right now. Like this is sad. This is sad for you, Toko. Like you just got outed by Kuya. And now you look more like the killer right now than anyone else.
Besides, you broke your promise first.
Oh?
You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
Oh.
But in spite of that promise,
Toko. She was primary suspect number 2, but now she might get moved up. She might get moved up. Cause obviously
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
this man played her for a fiddle.
That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
Bro, Lord.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Kuya, you are. Mom, if you watch this, I'm sorry, but Kuya, you are an asshole.
I hate you.
I hate him too, bro. I hate him too. Join the club.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Who are we about to hear from? Togo's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. But in the next second... What the...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Bro, why? I don't know why that jump scared me just now. Genocide.
What the heck?
Yeah, me too, Zoom.
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
What happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Ew, why is her tongue out like that, bro? Let her hold. I understand, like, she got, like, multiple personalities, but Jesus Christ, why are your tongue out like that? Put that back in, bro. And then she got chainsaw teeth. Stop.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
You're disgusting, bro. Look at her, bro.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know.
You know what? Who do y'all think can win in a fight? Genocide Jill or Sakura? I think Genocide Jill can take her.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Stop laughing in my ear, bro. This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is... I don't know what to say to this, Mikado. This is beyond the facts, bro.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! masterminds! Just kidding!
Stop throwing us for a loop and just get to the point. So
It's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
yeah, I don't understand that reasoning whatsoever, Jill.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
That is true. And Toko really has the biggest secret of all to reveal. Because she has multiple personalities. And not to mention, the other personalities is Genocide Jack. So, if I was Toko, I'd probably do it.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
But that's just assuming that that was her
If a
secret.
secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine
How?
anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, where's your evidence?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Yeah, where's your evidence? Because maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Okay, so we need to figure out size of the dead body, disappearing stain, and the library dashboard. Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps
Yeah,
if you
bro.
had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
No, that doesn't make sense.
Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, so obviously I think I know. So,
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
what is the most?
Give it up. You killed her.
Hold on, I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up, bro. I don't know what the motive in the is, bro. Don't be stupid, bro. Maybe something like that. Here we go. Let's learn something new together. A particular way or method of doing something.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You
Fuck, I
say
would've started
that,
shooting
but do you
shit, bro.
really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh?
I'm gonna
Now
start
we're
shooting.
talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
It's so cool, bro. Get these stupid lines out of here.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
So obviously we can't
You say
contradict
that,
first
but
one.
do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, what's wrong?
Oh, I was right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So what's up, Sam?
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Don't call me garbage, murderous psychopath.
I murder with passion and conviction.
She uses scissors.
I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way
Oh,
of
she
doing
uses
things.
scissors. So it couldn't have been Genocide
Imagine you
Jack.
go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles. That's what happened to Chihiro. It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
I get it. It's because she uses scissors.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Go ahead, Ricardo. Show. The one clear difference is that the victim's fatal injury and the style of bloody message.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Yup.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yup, that's correct.
Yes.
She died from the dumbbell.
Different from the other murders. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So,
Yeah, that's kind
you
of
saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
when she was suspended, how the body was posed, and what was used to suspend it. Maybe it's when she was suspended, right? Because you can obviously tell when how long the body's been suspended for. Oh no, that's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. Damn.
Shoot.
Dang it. Okay. The body was posed the exact same, so it can't be that. So it must be.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her?
Oh, that's
He used
right.
some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
The extension cord.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
That's right. In the Genocide Jack cases, we literally just saw this. She uses the scissors to suspend them. And in this one, it was an extension cord.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
I don't know.
And
That's
guess
probably-
what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
Oh, yeah. So this definitely just shifts the blame back to Kuya.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
What the?
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
What?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big
don't even
Mac.
worry about it.
There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
There's one more difference.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Huh? There was a pattern surrounding the genocide Jag victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. I think I figured it. I don't know why. Because Chihiro was a lover. Chihiro was a friend. Was it because
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
Oh wow, okay.
What are you talking about?
Let's go! Sheila, Detective Macho's on the case, bro. We are in this.
In all the genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah, they all were guys. But there wasn't like a certain age range though. Yeah, they all were guys. Hey look, this guy, top left guy in the center right. Yeah. In the center, yeah. They all were guys.
They were all guys?
Yeah.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Bro, that's kind of, I don't know what kind of sick fantasy you have.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Mondo, you might need to slap her.
I can't help it!
Or
I'm just a
sock
full-throttle
her. I think sock
boy-on-boy
her too.
fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
What kind of comparison is that?
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
I mean, it kind of is cool, because like that's basically like her reasoning for doing it. So if her reasoning for doing it does not match anything from this case, then obviously you're wrong.
It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
No, it's not.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would
That
never
man cool-
kill for
that
a
man
reason as petty as mere survival.
You never got disrespected before. That's right. Say it again, genocide Joe. You've been saying, you know what? I put you genocide Joe. I mess with you. You cool. You can come to the cookout. Just don't get near no scissors though.
And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That is true. That is true.
Does make some amount of sense.
That is true. Why would she incriminate herself? Look at Kuya on the left. He's so stunned. See, your argument just got freaking demolished, bro.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Anyone that can lift.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
Yeah, you're definitely not getting near no scissors. You're not getting near the grill. Right?
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
Da-da-da-da!
This is a thumbnail. This has to be a thumbnail at this point. Yeah, this definitely has to be a thumbnail.
She's fully equipped.
Yeah, why she dual wielding? Why she dual wielding? Like 2 sets of scissors,
That's
bro.
right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
Oh,
Why would I
she
resort
was
to
ready.
dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to
What's
mention,
a
I have no
blade?
clue how to tie a good knot!
Like-
So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
What's a blade? McCall! Hey! Grab the blade! She's crazy! She's fucking crazy, bro.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Correct.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Oh, that's easy. Cool. Look
Here's
at you,
my answer.
sweating and all.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
Yep.
Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened.
He said it. It's Kuya. It's Kuya. It has to be Kuya, bro. Kuya killed Chihiro, man. Look at you standing over here all silent and stuff, bro. Get him out of here. We voted him out.
Mr.
Get him off the
Togami
island.
did it?
Yes. Togami.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was
Fake Donald Trump.
because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it.
Yep.
The adorable plastic man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
Yep.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Yep, it sure does.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it
Don't
now,
tell me I gotta figure this out on my
the
own.
way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms, they're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Why would you suggest let's start with the girls' locker room? And that's where the body was.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Don't try to smoke it out with logic, man.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
on the contrary, there's something very strange.
Yeah.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has... Oh my god, there's another new element, bro. Next, we are going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. Oh, so it's unlimited, okay. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or a contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When is the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. So, this is so weird, bro. I mean, it's cool.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Yeah.
But he was acting weird... how?
We just said it, man.
With the opportunity to check
What?
out the girls'
Ew, what is
locker
Toko
room.
doing?
You absolutely
Just
take
like
it.
Jill.
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
You feel me? Now is not the time for you to be on this bull right now.
So, you said Byakuya was acting
So
kind
I
of
can
weird
take
before we
this.
found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd take me with you.
From you are defeated, bro. Get out. You know what? You from me? Maybe it was
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we...
You know what? That was just an outlandish.
But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it!
Absolutely
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was...
No, that's wrong.
Wait, how did that contradict me?
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim
Oh
doesn't hold
my
up.
god, it's cool here. Oh, let's go, Makoto.
That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting.
Oh my god, it's cool.
Very interesting indeed.
Oh my god,
But your reasoning is still too weak. Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've gotten cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
then there must be something very fishy indeed
It has
about
something to
that
do with
rope.
the desk lamp. I know that.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
That's a lie! That's a clear lie!
No, that's wrong.
That's a lie! No, you have, because you saw it when you were reading the book in the library.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before.
Yup.
Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
Yup. That extension cord, bro.
Extension cord?
Remember when you was reading in the library? It comes right back.
Library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time?
Oh, we finna pack this boy up, man.
Went missing after the murder.
Yup, we finna pack this boy up, bro. You are
There's
done,
no
Kuya.
way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah, Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he just prove me wrong? He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
So...
Sorry, but can we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
What was that just now? Something's not right. Byakuya's remarks just now, there's something in there that concerns me. The scene of the crime, Genocide Jack's presence, and the extension cord. Would it be the extension cord? But wait, what do you...
Shoot!
This man is just making me look like a freaking fool right now. So could it be the scene of the crime?
A gun! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
But how?
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later.
But how?
Along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
Kuya's getting mad. Kuya's getting mad.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? Yup. We got him. Maybe I can never even realize that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
The posters!
I got it!
The posters, that's
Proof that
right!
she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Yeah, because there's a boy band poster in the boys' locker room, and there's a supermodel in the girls' locker room. That wasn't there in the first place.
Your proof is some posters?
Yup.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Yup.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
wow.
Meanwhile,
No, that's what
the
you focus
boys'
on,
locker
okay.
room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Yep.
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
That's right. I forgot about the carpet too. And the stain wasn't. It was moved. No, you got it all wrong. Just calm down and think about it. Could you possibly have been more wrong?
Shoot!
What am I looking for then? It was moved?
I got it!
Oh.
The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the
Plot
stain from my
thickens.
protein coffee.
The plot thickens!
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body.
That's true. Okay. I'm starting to figure it out now, guys. I'm starting to figure it out now. Like, so, you know what? So here's probably what happened, right? You know what? I'm gonna keep that to myself. I'm
By
not
doing
doing
this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
But how were they able to do all of that?
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like why do they bother switching the rooms and stuff? That doesn't make sense.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Maybe to disguise themselves.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Yeah.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to slide your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Huh?
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Slash. I'm with you on that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Alright, how? Chihiro really had, well, she was the ultimate programmer, so she might have been able to figure out a way. Maybe. She was the ultimate programmer.
Is it really possible? Could
Yeah,
Chihiro
yeah.
really have gotten into the boys' locker room
There's
somehow?
gotta be something with the e-handbook.
I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
That is true.
Is it really possible?
But
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah, I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. Shoot!
okay, I think think I know.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer after all.
That is true, that is true.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
Right.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
But that's impossible. She couldn't have done that. Because Leon's handbook was broken.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
The plot thickens.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Exactly. And that's the problem.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Yeah.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and
used it to...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
Maybe we are wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it? Then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I could do.
Hold on a second.
Oh, see, look, Kyoko steps in. You know, there's something.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Huh?
I'd like you all to come see something.
Bro, what you want to say?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay. So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... the scene of the crime?
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
Hold on, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Alright, we're back.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Alright, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. You wanna check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
said
that I'm
that.
freaked out or anything. It's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Yeah.
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
Man,
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go.
alright, let's see.
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
What? What happened? What happened, Sakura? Why did you just go Super Saiyan just now? Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
What?
a boy!
Huh?
Ah, I see. So she is actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
So this had just taken place in the boys' locker room.
What?
So who could have done it then?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Ben, it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy? Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Shut up, Monokuma.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Bro, get out my
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Bro, are you serious?
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Okay, so this blows open this whole case now. So Chihiro's a boy. And then now it makes sense why the crime had taken place in the boys' locker room. But there's still one more problem with this, right? There's still one more problem. And I think you guys know what I'm about to say. There's one more problem with this, and it's the fact that Chihiro is the fact that obviously the crime had to have taken place inside the boys' locker room. So how in the world, so who was with Chihiro then? And we can't forget about Celeste, what Celeste said. Celeste said that she was grabbing a gym bag, or he was grabbing a gym bag before she left and went to the workout, went to the locker room and work out and stuff. So obviously she seemed like she was in a hurry. So we gotta remember that.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Yep. Oh no, so this...
assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Yeah, okay, so that just like blows everything I initially thought out of the window. So now I don't know who the killer is. I'm just as clueless as everybody else.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
So that means Makoto's right in the sense that it didn't take place in the girls' locker room.
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yep.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Yep.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
No, they haven't.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
You know
Well,
what?
without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But
You know what? After this revelation and stuff, and seeing how Byakuya is like reacting to this, I don't think he's the killer. I don't think Byakuya is the killer. But no, that's not to say I'm not gonna suspect him, but I don't think he's the killer at all.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
Yeah.
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
Yeah. Seriously.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Yeah. Like it's just too convenient and too weird.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
Overt?
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it.
Yeah. Okay. You know what, Byakuya, you couldn't have murdered him.
And Byakuya,
So
when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy.
yeah,
If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
that's true.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
Okay, so our two prime suspects are out. Byakuya and Toko are out. They're not the killers. So it's anybody.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead, find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
Yeah.
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
Fuck you.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Actually, why are you acting like that, bro?
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Yeah.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Yeah.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Alright, you know what? Celeste is out. She's definitely not the killer. So, my 3 prime suspects from last video are out at this point. So, it's anybody.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Taka, you're acting very strange, bro.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Yeah, they are, dude.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure to know. The killer is definitely a guy.
I got it!
So, okay, so it's definitely a guy. So it's between Hifumi, Mondo, Yasuhiro, and Taka. Those 4 people are the only people that I know that could have been able to do it. Because they're obviously there because they're boys. So it's just a matter of figuring out who did it. And also why. I want to know why. Because you must have been hiding something very despicable. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Clues are one thing. Did nobody get a look at the killer?
How can we get a
Sure,
look
if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Yes.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Celeste.
All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Celeste, yep, I just said it. I literally just said it. Celeste saw her.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
Celeste, bring all the information to life.
And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
Exactly.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
So the murderer is whoever he was meeting. But who could it have been?
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
This still doesn't make sense. So, who was Chihiro meeting then?
Ooh, the marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, we can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
Rio? Hold on. I gotta send this text real quick.
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about
A guy was waiting for him. No.
You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse.
And so it's just a normal duffel bag.
All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
This Chihiro track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow it's really hard to read. But what's so hard to believe?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I should just wait. You know what? That's stupid.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
just like keep talking. Just like
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Like you can't
Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Are you saying there's something off about what someone just said?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong.
No.
Hold on a second, Mondo.
No.
What did you just say?
This can't be.
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said... She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
Where are you? You just...
Oh my God, bro. Don't tell me.
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Mondo.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
Mondo.
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Mondo.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Mondo.
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
Mondo, don't tell me it was you. Please, Mondo, don't let it be you, bro. Seriously.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Was it because of the
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
You did?
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
You did? What did you do?
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Wait a minute. He did? When did he refer to her as a dude? I still remember it.
Mondo, was it really you?
Mondo, please say no, and please refute in rebuttal, because I don't want it to be you, Mondo. Like, seriously, I'd be okay if it was Taka. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay if it was Hifumi or Mr. Barnyard, Mr. Smoke Blower. But Mondo, bro, no.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
No, he couldn't have. Mondo, you couldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? You might be the ultimate biker gang leader, but you couldn't have done it, right? Fudge.
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
All right, my guy, what you got to say?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Just say it!
Is your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What is this supposed to be?
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
So that means it must belong to Chihiro?
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
Yeah.
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
But I thought you couldn't break a handbook.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
That's a very good question. Hifumi said he found it in the hallway. Obviously, there must be a weak point.
I got it!
Right?
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Yes, we are. Now tell us.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already!
Thank you!
Why would we want to break our own handbook?
Jesus, just say it!
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Yes, now tell us!
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Oh, it might have been Mondo.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
It might have been Mondo. It's either Mondo or Taka.
It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Okay, so I know y'all thinking like, why is he suspecting Mondo and Taka now? Because y'all remember a couple videos back, Mondo and Taka had that little that stupid competition, and they was like, oh, well, hey, let's do this. Let's prove whoever's the strongest by staying in whoever's staying in the sauna the longest. Oh no!
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Yes, you do.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
That's a good choice.
Shoot!
So is Mondo. So is Mondo. So it was
Here's my answer!
So it was Mondo. It was
Mondo. Your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
So it was Mondo. So it was Mondo. Mondo did it. Mondo.
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
Yeah.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong.
Shut up,
You would
Taka.
never. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Shut up, Taka. I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. What do we have?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto says is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it's wrong!
I'm not even gonna lie, I just whipped it on that one. I have nothing else right.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Nope.
Well, here's how I look at it.
Mondo.
There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Mondo, you should.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear.
Let's wrap it up. Alright, so let's see. That's Celeste. That's the whole Celeste thing. Person right, buddy right here is waiting. He gets there. Yeah, we're just gonna come back when I'm done with this. Alright, so I think I got this right.
Here's exactly what happened.
I think I got this right.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct?
Yep.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime.
Yep.
She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, act?
Gotcha. Boom. Okay, so let's try it
The killer
again.
is you! With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Here's exactly what happened.
Okay, bro. Then what could it have been then?
The killer is you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Yeah, heading to the girls' locker room.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Are you freaking serious, bro?
I refuse to give up yet.
Come on, bro. I'll see y'all when we get done.
Here's exactly what happened.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we get.
First, let's take a look back to last night. Celeste saw at the
We
time.
already know this.
That.
Yep, we already know this. She was scrambling through the duffel bag.
With bag in hand, she made her way to. But how could the victim, who was apparently
scanned her car, got into the boys' locker.
Simple, which is why he was able to use his own. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person he met was the. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was... Which is why the killer hurried to try and then, removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girl's locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbook using one of those, and they changed the layout. That could have been the end if Byakuya discovered the... So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work.
Yep.
He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
And then the killer.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
So he didn't close the door? When the handbook got thrown into the sauna, what happened to it? Oh, it broke. It broke. So that means this then?
The killer is you! And around the same time that they And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna just say that, because that's just like a thumbnail. That's not even a thumbnail. I don't even know what it's like. See, look at him. He's so speechless now. Can't believe he just went, oh, Mondo, this would be cool. This would be cool, man.
Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence?
I just said it. We just said it,
You
Tucker.
need proof!
Shut up,
You
Tucker.
need proof? You...
Shut up, Tucker, man. We just said the evidence. It's clear as day. Mondo is the killer. As much as I don't want it. New element has been added. Let's talk a little bit about Fever Time and Nega Time. I just want this clash trial to be over with, bro. During a bullet time battle, if you press the R1 button, fever time will activate, and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push X, triangle, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out. So make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponents can use. If the opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you know what I'm saying? We're on gentle. We're on hardest going with possible. Alright, so we're going against Taki.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False!
Run it back again. Takio down, yeah, back again.
Show me some evidence.
Shut up. I don't care what you say.
I won't listen.
Hold on. It's getting really slow.
I refute you. False.
We're going slow. Switch the beat up. Now I gotta show me some
evidence. I won't listen.
Taki, shut up. Your man's is dead. He convicted of a crime. Now he's about to die.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
There's your evidence. Your man's is dead. I'm sorry, bro. I could have done a freestyle.
Right?
Real.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now.
That's true.
Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Damn. He's finna confess.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Mondo. We're gonna stop right there. So, Mondo was the killer. Mondo killed Chihiro. I'm very flabbergasted. I'm very confused. I'm very stunned by this because it's like, Mondo, why did you do it, bro? What your secret was that bad to the point where you had to kill somebody? I don't think your secret was that bad. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that felt this way. At least that has played this game. I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only person that felt this way, but it's just like, wow. Mondo really killed Chihiro. Mondo was the one. And I feel like the reason why Chihiro was even going to exercise with Mondo in the first place was because he felt safe with Mondo. And he probably, told Mondo about his secret in the first place, so he felt safe with Mondo, and Mondo took advantage of that and killed him. Killed Chihiro. The plot has thickened. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and put a timestamp any funny moments, if there were any funny moments throughout this whole entire video. And yeah, be on the lookout though for a couple of different videos coming out as well. So I should have some more videos coming out, and some more. I'm gonna be coming back to the streams. By the time this video goes up, I should at least stream at least a couple times. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.